Hello class, welcome to Total Quality Management. My name is Dr. Kembu Apollonius. Welcome to this semester unit, which is Introduction to Total Quality Management. And our objectives, we are going to look at history of quality, introduction to quality and definition. The learner should be able to describe different dimensions of quality, and lastly, fundamental factors which affect quality. So let us start by looking at TQM, that is Total Quality Management, in a very simplistic view of Total Quality Management, and I broke it down to different wordings. That is, we started with total. Total, that is everyone in the organization is responsible for quality. Everyone in the organization is responsible for quality. When I'm talking about everyone, I'm talking about the internal and the external. Internal includes employees, for example, employees. External includes, for example, the suppliers. Then we have quality. Quality, we can say, these are product features which meet the needs of the customers and thereby provide product satisfaction. Then we have management. Management, that is a cycle of planning, doing, studying, and acting. Lastly, let us look at TQM, which is a business management strategy aimed at embedding awareness of quality in all organizational processes. We can also say that TQM is a management approach that originated in the 1950s and has steadily become more popular since the early 80s. It is a description of the culture, attitude, and organization of a company that strives to provide customers with products and services that satisfy their needs. So when you talk of culture is a way of doing things. So when you're talking about quality, is whereby organization enhance that people behave or people perform in a manner that there is good performance in terms of quality of service or quality of product. It is also a method by which management and employees can become involved in continuous improvement of the production of goods and services. And when you talk about continuous improvement, the Japanese call it kaizen. Continuous improvement, kaizen. It is also a combination of quality and management tools aimed at increasing business and reducing losses due to wasteful practices. So how can we define quality? We've mentioned quality. So what are these definitions of quality? According to E. Deming, 1986, defined quality as meeting the needs of the customers, both present and future. That is right now and future. Secondly, according to Crosby, 1979, quality is conformance to requirements or the standards. Can either be requirements or standards. Then according to Juran, 1988, quality is the fitness for use. Fitness for use. And lastly, the totality of the features and characteristics of a product or a service that bear on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. So here we are talking of satisfaction of needs. So how can we define TQM? It is a management philosophy that seeks to integrate all organizational functions. What are these functions? We have marketing, we have finance, we have design, we also have human resource, we have engineering and production. And lastly, we have the customer service to focus on meeting the customer needs and organizational objectives. So all these functions are geared towards customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. So what is the history of TQM? TQM started as early in the 1920s, and here is 27, and started with Elton Mayo with the Hawthorne experiments from 1927 through to 1932. These experiments showed that workers are key. That is, participation in the decision making improves productivity. So workers are key, and that is why when we were looking earlier on the functions, we said the HR, human resource, which are in charge of the labor force. Also in the 1940s, during the World War II, it pushed for standardization of products. Standardization of products. We also saw the statistical control and the best manufacturing practices in the 1950s on issues of total quality management. Still in the 1950s, Edward Demings taught statistical methods, and Juran taught quality management techniques to the Japanese. In the 1954, Abraham Maslow created the pyramid of self-actualization needs. The self-actualization needs, that is, you cannot satisfy higher needs if you have not satisfied the lower needs. In the 1960s, Douglas McGregor formed the Theory X and the Theory Y leadership models. So let us look at 4 major phases of quality management. And under these phases, we start with the inspection phase, whereby the inspection phase, we check work after the event has already been done. Here we can also see identifying sources of non-conformance. And lastly, they take corrective action. Then from inspection phase, we went to the next step of quality control. Quality control, here we have self-inspection. We have the issue of quality planning. Quality planning, that is, you plan before you do the production. We can also see the use of procedures which were introduced, which were not in the inspection stage or phase. We can also see in this stage of quality control the use of basic statistics. Use of quality manuals, just to improve on quality. And lastly, use of process performance data. Then we went to the third phase of quality assurance. Quality assurance developed quality systems that helped in production. They also used use of quality cost data. Quality cost data. We can also see here they utilized quality planning, and here they emphasized more on statistical process control, and lastly, involved on an operational function. Then the last phase, which is the total quality management, we can see here they have emphasized more on teamwork. Teamwork is whereby people must work as a team to achieve a common objective. So people are key when it comes to issues of quality. We can also see the issue of employee involvement. Employee involvement. That is, employees are involved in issues of production, in issues of matters that affect them. For example, affect their morale, that can affect the production process, or what have you. We can also see the issue of process management. And lastly, performance management, whereby performance is monitored. Performance is monitored. We can also have the issues of performance appraisal. So we can see most of the TQM is mostly on people and people skills. Then let us look at dimensions of quality. Dimensions of quality, and the first dimension is performance. And here we are talking of primary product characteristics, such as brightness of the picture. And here I can give example with a sports car. Sports car performs well in terms of what? Speed. Performs well in terms of speed. Then when you talk about the utility, sports utility vehicles, the SUVs, or the off-road vehicles. Off-road vehicles will perform well in a rough terrain. So in terms of performance under rough terrain, the off-road vehicles will perform very well. For example, if it is a TV set, for example, if you want to see the performance, we shall look at in terms of picture quality, in terms of sound, and what have you. Then we have features. The second dimension of quality are the features. These are the secondary product characteristics and these are added features. Added features such as remote control. For example, with the advent of technology, nowadays you can see things are being, you can control a gadget or a TV, for example, with a remote control from your seat. Then we have conformance. This is whereby we talk about meeting specification or the industry standards or the workmanship. The workmanship. Then we have reliability. Reliability, this is consistency of performance over time. We did talk about performance. So here is about consistency of performance. It is a reliable, for example, you can say it is a reliable vehicle that you can travel 500 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers without any challenge or problem. Durability, useful life, or it includes repairs. So durability is whereby we talk of a certain product is durable. A certain product is durable. And there are some products or services. For example, let me give an example with the motor industry. Mercedes. Mercedes, people have the notion that Mercedes is a durable vehicle. It can the same time perform, and the same time it can give you service for a long period of time. Service, resolution of problems and complaints. And I believe I explained it when I was giving example with the Mercedes-Benz of giving you a service, whereby it is an expensive vehicle in terms of buying it is very expensive. In terms of service, it gives a good service, and it is also durable. Aesthetics, these are the sensory characteristics. It can be sensory characteristics or such things as exterior finish, the finishing, the outside finish. And here we can give example, for example, with in real estate, whereby houses have superb, wonderful finish that attracts customers. Lastly, reputation. These are the past performance and other intangibles, such as being ranked first or being ranked last. So when you're being ranked first, you have a very good reputation. But if you're being ranked last, if your product is ranked last, then you have a bad reputation in the market. So what are the goals? What are the goals of TQM? It is to do the right things right the first time. I'm repeating again, do the right things right the first time. And every time. And every time. It is simplest, all managers leading and facilitating all contribution in everyone's two main objectives. One, total customer satisfaction. So here we've really emphasized on issue of customer satisfaction. That is when we're talking about quality. And lastly, continuous improvement. Like we said, the Japanese call it Kaizen, continuous improvement. So let us look at characteristics and nature of TQM. Characteristics and nature of TQM, that is total quality management. TQM starts from the top management. So the top management, when we look at organization structure, we have the top management up there. These are the people who are in charge on issues of quality. They come up with policy, they come up with the strategic plans and what have you. So the top management is key. The top management is key. Secondly, it is a consistent process. Consistency, continuity. Then thirdly, it is part of strategic planning and thinking. Like we said, whenever we talk of strategic plans are at the top there, are the top management. Top management. They are the people who come up with these strategic plans and what have you. It is customer focused or oriented. Let us not forget what we said. The customer is always the king. In a business, the customer is key. Without the customer, the business will not exist. So the customer satisfaction, customer focus is the key. Another point, it is a teamwork. Teamwork is whereby we come together to work as a team to support achievement of organizational goals or organizational objectives. So it is important when people work towards a common goal. It is related with consistent improvement of quality. So consistency, we've talked about consistency, consistent process. Then every employee is involved in quality improvement aspects, either internal or external. And we gave example with internal. Internal is whereby, when you talk about internal is whereby we give examples with employees. Employees are internal, and they must always be focused on ensuring they offer either quality product or a quality service. External, these are people from outside the organization, but they have interest towards the organization. For example, these are people like suppliers. So how are these suppliers important? Suppliers, for example, they supply the raw materials. So they should ensure that the raw materials are of good quality, so that they can produce good end products at the end there. So In procurement, you usually say that, in production, you usually say that garbage in, garbage out. So if you use poor quality of materials, at the end, you will get poor quality products. And if you use good quality of materials, at the end, you will get good quality of products. Every employee is responsible for the success of the TQM. That is, must be determined and committed towards achieving of quality. And here we did mention of culture. Culture is a way of doing things, and every organization has its own culture. And culture is whereby is determined by the top management. So let us go to the next slide on application and usage of quality for general public or the consumers. It ensures error-free products. So when you're talking about error-free products, this is key to any producer, to any consumer, because consumers will not want to buy products which are faulty. It is going to be very expensive to the organization, and also is going to damage the reputation when they produce products which are faulty. It's going to damage the reputation of the organization, and hence customers will avoid their products or their services. Secondly, it enhances the development of new innovated products. New innovated products. And here I can give example with Safaricom. Safaricom, they are able to be very innovative. They are very creative and innovative, whereby they come with different products and services. And we've given example with M-Pesa, we have M-Shwari, we have the new entrant is Fuliza. The new entrant is Fuliza, whereby you can borrow money through your M-Pesa. You can borrow money through your M-Pesa. Thirdly, it helps to give warranty or guarantee of products. This is common with, for example, electronics, whereby you are given 1 year or 2 year warranty. Another point, it enables good customer service. Let us not forget, the customer is the key. Promises timely delivery. When you're talking about customer, let us not forget about timely delivery. Good customer service goes in line with what? Timely delivery. And lastly, quality helps in getting satisfaction after the use of a product or a service. When that product satisfies a customer, the customer will be able to go back again and again to buy the same product. Or if that service satisfies a customer, the customer will go back for the same service. So let us look at the application of quality for producers or manufacturers. 1, quality helps in meeting the changing demands of the consumers. Here, the manufacturers must ensure that they produce products which are in line with, for example, taste, fashion, preferences of the consumers. So they keep on changing. They keep on changing. The demand of the consumer keeps on changing. Let me give you an example with the manufacturers of mobile phones. Nowadays we have the Android phones. So people are manufacturing more of Android phones, brought about by change in what? Technology, which the customers demand for better technology or better phones that can serve their needs. Secondly, It ensures delivery of flawless or zero error products or services. And here, manufacturers must ensure that the products are error-free. Why error-free? So that to avoid costs that are associated with products that have default, that they have defaults. This is going to be very expensive to the organization, for example, to the manufacturer, when they recall a product due to defects. It ensures delivery of products or service on time. So we didn't mention about on-time delivery. On-time delivery. Then, next point, it helps in giving superior products produced with advanced engineering technology. Why are we talking about advanced engineering technology? To reduce on the cost of production. To reduce the cost of production. So that when you reduce on the cost of production, that benefit can be transferred to the consumer so that the products can be cheap or affordable, rather. Let me call it affordable. Quality helps in meeting or fulfilling the commitments. Then we go to the next slide. What are the factors affecting quality? We have 3 factors that affect quality. One is the management. And here we said management is key and very, very important to any organization when you talk of issues of quality. And for this purpose, the top management creates a culture. Culture, we said, it is a way of doing things. So when you create a culture of good customer service, that the customer is served well. So it is important for the top management to ensure it creates this culture whereby everybody is responsible for the quality. Everyone is responsible for the quality in the organization. And also they are responsible to ensure that commitment for quality must be from the top management in order to provide for the necessary resources required to achieve customer service, good customer service. Another factor that can affect quality is dedicated employees. That is, every employee is responsible for the quality. We've mentioned that. Planning, quality production, quality delivery, and quality after-sale service. So it is the responsibility of an employee through the quality culture, good quality culture, good service delivery culture, and what have you, so that you can have these dedicated employees who are well motivated, well remunerated, and what have you. Then lastly, we talk of suppliers. Suppliers supply machines, they supply raw materials to the company so that they can say that the supplier play an important role as far as quality is concerned. And I believe I mentioned something on quality, on suppliers and quality. That is, the organization must ensure that the supplier supply quality raw material. They supply according to the standards. They supply according to the set requirements so that they can be able to have a good end product or a good quality end product. Total quality management, benefits and advantages. So what are the advantages of TQM? There are various advantages. One, strengthened competitive position. So through quality, an organization is able to compete in the market, to compete with its competitors in the market. They can either compete in the aspect of quality, that their products are of good quality, that their product are of good performance and what have you. Adaptability to changing or emerging market conditions and to environmental and other government regulations. We also have another benefit of higher productivity. Another point is enhanced market image. We did mention somewhere about, when you're looking at dimension, we did mention something about reputation. Market image, reputation. So the reputation of a product or a service is very, very important. Another point, elimination of defects and wastage is also key and important in order to increase on profits and also to create a good market image. And lastly, reduced costs and better cost management. Believe I've explained that point. Then we have higher profitability. Higher profitability. When you reduce on costs, when you reduce on damaged goods and what have you, we improve on higher profitability. Another point, improved customer focus and satisfaction. Don't forget, we are satisfying the customer, the end user of a product. Another point, increased customer loyalty and retention. What is customer loyalty? Customer loyalty is whereby someone is loyal to a certain product or a certain service. Certain product or certain service. There is that one product when you go to the supermarket, for example. There is that one product that you like to use it, and you buy every time you visit the supermarket. That product, you like it because it satisfies you. You like the product, etc. Increased job security. This is to the now employees. When there is assured good image in the competitive market, then the employees are sure of their job security. Improved employee morale, also brought about by good quality of products and what have you, and enhanced shareholder and stakeholder value. Shareholders are the owners of the companies. Then stakeholders are people who have interest towards the company. And lastly, improved and innovative processes. We did talk about innovation, and we gave examples with companies that are innovative in nature, that they keep on coming up with products and services that meet the needs of its customers. So let us look at the costs of quality. The cost of quality. And when we're talking about the cost of quality, here we are talking about the amount of money that has to be spent as a result of quality problems. Quality problems within an organization. It also aims at identifying in financial terms all activities involved in the prevention and rectification of the defects. So these are the key main terms you can see here. Defects. These are costs associated with the discovery of failure. Failure and the cost of preventing poor quality. Poor quality. And that is why we incur the cost of quality. And under the cost of quality, according to the American Society for Quality Control, 1971, categorized quality costs into 4 categories. 1, internal failure costs. 2, external failure costs. 3, a price or costs. And lastly, prevention costs. So let us start with the first one, the internal failure costs. internal failure costs. These are from internal, within the organization, And for example, like which ones? One, downtime. Downtime, this is the cost of idle personnel and facilities when production is halted. And we are talking about when production is halted. Production can be halted in so many ways. For example, power failure. And maybe you don't have emergency generators. So power failure can lead to idle personnel. Another thing can lead to idle personnel is whereby, for example, there are maybe strikes that hamper what? Production process, which lead to this idle personnel. Secondly, under internal failure costs, we have the scrap. These are defective products which cannot be repaired or used or sold. They are scrap. They are damaged beyond repair, and they cannot be sold to anyone unless they are recycled. Depending with the industry that one is. There are some products which cannot be recycled. For example, like bread. Bread cannot be recycled. Then another point is reworked or rectification. This one, it involves the cost of correcting the non-conforming units. So here, we are talking about now correcting the damage that was caused. And here it will come with a cost. And that is what we call it the reworked or the rectification cost. And lastly, we have the cost of investigation. The cost of investigation here, it includes the cost of all activities required to establish the causes of the internal product failure. So here, for example, a committee can be formed. To investigate why we have certain failures that bring about damaged goods or damaged products. Then we go to the second type of costs, which are called the external failure costs. From the word external from outside. The other one we were looking was from inside. Now we are going to the outside. External failure costs. And these are which costs? We are talking about of loss of goodwill. Loss of goodwill. Poor quality has a negative impact on the reputation and image. Reputation and image of the organization. So don't forget what we said about the reputation is key and very, very important when it comes to a certain good or a certain product in the market. So when you lose goodwill, then it can cost an organization. People will avoid that product. People will not buy that product. And that is why you see some of the organizations, the ones which are proactive, the moment they see there is a loss of goodwill, they usually do something we call product development. Either they develop that product or either they come up with another product just to compete in the market or to do business in the market. Then another external costs are the external failure costs are the warranty charges. This is whereby failed products within the warranty time may have to be replaced under the guarantee. That is whereby you are given a warranty of 2 years. Maybe it is, let me give example with the electrical products. You've been given 2 years warranty. 6 months down the line, the product is not working. You return it back